It's a few minutes after school, and in Roland Park, there's a different sound in the air. Here, they've turned an old storefront into a rehearsal hall, and every day, students race to get their musical fix.
It's like a kid on Christmas Eve, you know?
Welcome to the Paul Green School of Rock, a music school which teaches young musicians how to be rock stars.
This is just a springboard for kids to learn how to be great musicians very early on in life.
Brian Ewald is not only the school's music director,
Right.
but a professional rocker who's played guitar since childhood.
F major with a flatted seventh. I wish this was around when I was a kid. I would have jumped on it. Right.
Now Ewald is teaching technique to kids whose power chords and vocal cords are changing. From 8-year-olds to 18-year-olds, students are learning how to rock by playing classic rock, the Stones, the Who, the Beatles. Stone Phillipsack and his twin brother Dane were some of the first to sign up.
On rock and roll, it's the only thing where you get to really jump up on stage and smash a guitar, and no one will give you weird looks.
Before they came to this school, they were interested in the music, but it took them a while to kind of really get excited about what they were actually playing with their lessons.
Because that might sound tighter.
Instructors believe that the best way to learn rock music is to perform it. So every few weeks, the young rockers trade the school for the stage.
Give it up for the School of Rock doing the Beatles.
Last month, they performed at a block party in Federal Hill. Here, the student standouts steal the show.
Some of the quietest and shyest kids, end up being the ones that want to grab the microphone and sing and turn into a total ham on stage.
For Brian Ewald, his faith is renewed each time the students hit the stage.
It was fantastic. It's like nothing else in the world.
These young rockers may never become megastars, but for now, they're learning music and savoring the moment and are ready to rock. Jeff Abel, Fox 45, News at 10.
It's a mess.
Lord have mercy.
You can't imagine people make this much of a mess.
I said, wow, oh my goodness, what a long day. 10-hour, 12-hour job with almost 200 people out here cleaning up.
This is the aftermath of Hurricane Preakness.
I don't know how many acres this is, but it's filled.
Did a tornado come through here? This is the total chaos. This is a wreck out here.
This is real disgusting. How could you lose a shoe? One shoe. This is a waste of money.
Party. These people had a good time.
This how drunk they get. When I find shoes and shirts out here, I be like, wow, would they go home naked?
This is what I call one busy day.
Me, I just come out here to make a couple dollars.
We came out just to make some extra money for the weekend.
Yeah, it's cool, it's fun.
Never again. Preakness next year, don't call me.
And it's sure gonna defeat you later on, because you're gonna need a nice hot bath and a good rub down.
There are plenty of signs for success around Umar Boxing Club. Pictures, words of encouragement, mottos for in and out of the ring. And that's what Marvin McDowell wanted to give Baltimore's youth when he started Umar Boxing Club.
Was it 3-4?
A chance to make it in this world, and that's exactly what he gave James Berry.
James was pretty aggressive. He had the attitude of a boxer. He's a mean guy. He got that attitude. And that's what you need to be successful in boxing. His anger is uncontrolled. A lot of these kids come from different situations and they're mad off the box. This is like a family environment. We care about the kids sincerely with no strings attached, and all we want is the best out of them.
But first, McDowell had to get James to come in and stay with Umar, which wasn't that easy. McDowell has a strict rule at his boxing gym: no hooks before books. meaning you have to hit those school books before you can hit anyone in the ring.
He used to come in and watch his cousin train. So you know, it's a saying, you keep coming to the barber shop, eventually you're going to get a haircut.
Well, it's definitely been a struggle, and it's not going to be easy. It's a different thing about boxing. You can play football, you can play basketball, you can play baseball. You can't play boxing.
Because the Olympic trials and qualifying was coming up, I said, Barry, I said, man, just give me this year. I said, you give me this year, and I'll guarantee you reap the benefits.
And Barry did reap those benefits of spending 12 continuous months with McDowell at Umar.
He won the Maryland State Championship, then he went on to New Jersey and won the regional championship. And he won the state Golden Glove, and then he went on and won the regional Golden Glove.
And now, Barry has a shot at making the 2008 Olympic boxing team.
There's only one of y'all going to make it, period. And right now, I'm the only one standing. So I guess I'm saying the light.
Little did James Barry know when he stepped through those doors at Umar a little over 7 years ago and into the ring, what started as a curious fascination with boxing would lead from a life on the streets to a college scholarship and even a spot on the U.S. Olympic team.
Well, boxing, I'd probably be doing any type of thing. I grew up in a tough environment. It's definitely helped me just to stay focused and doing something positive and negative, staying out of jail, staying out of trouble.
I see him as a world champion, but I also see him as a businessman because this coming September, he's going to start Northern Michigan State in Marquette. That's the USA Boxing College. Boxing, going to college, boxing and books, and that's what we promote here.
So perhaps next summer, James will be saying ni hao to the Beijing Olympics. That's Chinese for hello.
Are you brushing up on your Chinese?
I'm going to have to start when we come back. We're going to have to start.
Double up.
But he does know how to box, and in the ring, that's the language he's fluent in. In Baltimore, Amy Fadul for Sports Unlimited.
At Baltimore's Inner Harbor, deep inside a basement laboratory,
I really feel like, you know, those are our babies.
Jonathan Zohar is beaming over his newest crop of blue crabs.
Those are real beautiful swimmers. I mean, they look so beautiful to me.
Zohar is a scientist who helps raise crabs in a hatchery here at the University of Maryland's Biotechnology Institute.
It takes them about 3 months to grow from this size to that size and to become mature females.
Eventually, they hope to restock the bay with millions of crabs, which are rapidly vanishing. But first, they must better understand the science and the nature of the blue crab, and their study begins with larvae.
They look nothing like blue crab. They swim in the water, and in about a week or so, they will metamorphose into tiny blue crab.
From 3 weeks old to 4 weeks old to 8 weeks old. Their early lives are nourished with cocktails of algae, which scientists produce in a laboratory kitchen, and at the age of 2 months, their path becomes much broader. Miles away at the Smithsonian Research Center in Edgewater, each baby crab is individually injected with tiny tags and colored pigments so scientists can trace their future.
170? Yes. 148?
Yes. We can actually tell definitively that the crabs that we catch out in the field are either a hatchery reared crab or a wild crab.
Their new home will be not in a lab, but in the Chesapeake Bay.
Sprinkled ice.
The crabs are released in secluded coves where scientists will spend the next few months studying how they live. What they've learned over the years is that many of them will be eaten by larger crabs, but overall their survival rate is far better than those that grow in the wild.
They survive as well, they behave as well, they protect themselves as well, they feed the same, they use the same habitat, and they survive to maturity as well as the ones that were born in the wild.
Since the project started 6 years ago, scientists have hatched, released, and studied more than 300,000 crabs. Someday they hope to increase the population that are reproducing in the bay. And while some critics question the success, Jonathan Zohar insists the project is worth attempting if it means saving the blue crab.
Even if we are not going to be successful at the end, which I think we are, in the process we learn so much about the biology that makes so much sense.
In 3 years, Zohar believes he'll have conclusive results. For now, the fate of the blue crab is at stake. Jeff Abel, Fox 45 News at 10.